What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Earbuds Podcast. This is a podcast where two friends talk about one album for a good amount of time. You're like my hype man, but you're trying way too early. Today is a new album that we're talking about.
We're not calling these shorties anymore, Brett. Remember, I think we're gonna stick with Fresh Drops.
Fresh Drops, I think, is gonna be the kind of the new title because they are not short anymore.
No, because what we do on these is we listen to each track one by one, and we react while we're listening to it. We give our little synopsis after each track, and then we name our favorite ones. We go into our ratings of the album and everything. So it kind of, it's been a little longer. Before we were doing like one run through together and then jumping on and recording. And that was easy to make, 15, 20 minutes. But now there's, a lot of like opinions and thoughts to kind of take out of these episodes. So
there's a lot more finagling. There's a lot more kind of depth here, and y'all can follow along with us if you want.
Yes, sorry we can't play the music
with us. Yeah. Today's album is by a band called OCs. The OCs.
The OCs. Or the OCs, or the OCs, or the OCs. They apparently have 7 different names. Every other album is a different spelling or whatever. I really, really love the OCs a lot, and I'm excited for this record. It's like 20 minutes long, and they said it's an homage to all of their favorite punk bands that they listened to growing up, so that's exciting. Their last album, Protein something or other, was really good. Pretty fast, pretty balls to the wall the whole time, so I'm excited to hear this, man. Have you listened to... You've heard the OCs before, right?
Michael recommended Mutilator to me.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so I kind of got into that album. I was like, ooh, this is good shit, and then I haven't really checked out anything since then, but I'm excited to get into this.
They're kind of King Gizzard in the way that they come out with an album like at least once a year, if not more than once a year. So they have so much stuff out there. And for the most part, it all is pretty much the same vibe. But yeah, the last album, I definitely noticed a shift in their sound, a little more aggressive. So I'm fucking psyched to listen to this, man. Buddies, before we get into this, give us a like. Give us a follow, subscribe, the thumbs up, or the down thumb, whatever you want to call it. I call it down thumb. Some people call it thumbs down.
I don't care what you give us. They have that anymore.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they just kind of like fucking took it out.
Which is total horseshit.
You can't be mean to people anymore.
Yeah, that's horseshit. I would love to know if you guys fucking liked or hated our stuff, personally. Yeah. But, give us a follow. Find us on Instagram and shit, like EBPcast. But I'm ready to get into this, Brett. Guys, follow along with us, man.
Me too, man. We're going into a foul form. This is Funeral Solution.
Yes. Oh, we never even said the name of the album until now. A Foul Form. I feel like this is like your era of punk that you got really into, right? It sounds like 80s punk.
I don't know what this sounds like, man.
No, because you're kind of like my window into that stuff, like Minor Threat and Gorilla Biscuits and stuff. I've never really listened to any of that. Like, does that sound like them?
Not really. Like, it kind of it did give me a classic punk feel. The stops and the hits were not something I could like attribute to any decade of punk.
The
yeah, just things. Like it's a very steady pace the entire song, and you're just
I have no idea what they're saying.
Whatever he could be saying. I don't think the lyrics are even up online yet.
Probably not. I mean, it's super simple punk, very stripped down, raw sounding stuff, which like normally I'm not into, but that was fine. I didn't like the things, so I got kind of annoying.
It was, it's like a weird production. It's a weird quality. We'll see where this goes. I'm a little worried, but we'll see where this goes.
Frock block,
baby.
Yeah, I don't know about this, man.
Uh-oh.
I don't know about this. I'm surprised. I'm looking up the Metacritic reviews of this album, and it's getting really good reviews.
It sounds like a parody of a punk album.
It does. It does.
It sounds like it also sounds like it'd be their first punk album.
Yeah, the in the last two songs, the whole kind of relying on not having a full riff, where like on this one it was like do 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 wow wow do 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 wow, and then the last song, the squeal squeal. I'm just like, okay, are you gonna keep like just have a whole riff, like this whole stopping and starting like you're saying? I'm just like, this sounds like the most garagey, rawest, like rudimentary punk rock ever.
It's very rudimentary. It's very garage. The production is not what I was expecting.
It was recorded in the singer's basement.
That makes sense. It sounds like I can't even hear most of the instruments. It sounds like this is like a two-piece band.
Yeah, for sure.
Are they a two-piece? Like,
I don't know, man. This band confuses me. I don't think they're a two-piece. I think they're like 4 or 5 dudes.
Okay, because all I can hear, all I heard on that song was like some fuzz bass and maybe some guitar, if even that. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We will see. Not necessarily digging this so far, but now we have a 3-minute song. Let's see if they kind of flesh it out a little bit. I have a feeling this whole album's going to be just as raw as the first 2 songs, so let's listen to it. Too Late for Suicide.
All right, man.
I'm starting to get really happy that this is only 20 minutes long. It definitely doesn't sound like they tried very hard at all, but maybe that's the spirit of punk. You know, where it's just like, fuck it. Like, just write 3 chords and let's just record this shit.
I was just thinking, like, it kind of sounds like a post-punkish band like Fugazi or No Means No, but without the work and without, like, the heart. Or without the creativity.
Yeah, I can totally hear what they're going for in like the DIY aspect of this album, where it sounds like they recorded it in their basement. Like, it sounds like they recorded it in a dingy fucking back bedroom or something. So to that effect, I can appreciate like the aesthetic of what they're going for. I'm not enjoying the songs at all. Like, there's nothing for me to grab onto. There's no melody here. Like, there's nothing catchy so far. Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of frustrating me. I see the OCs as kind of like indie or like garage rock darlings that I just feel like they feel like they can do whatever they want.
It definitely sounds like they're just doing whatever they want on this record. The vocal delivery on this song makes me think that this album might just be a joke. Like, they might just be getting one on the fucking punk or music industry or something, and they're like, oh, it's so raw and DIY something.
One of the reviewers said that this album was breathtaking.
Is it? Is it breathtaking?
That's what I mean. We're 3 songs in, and I'm full of breath. I have superfluous
not one breath has left me yet.
Yeah, I haven't breathed this whole time because I'm trying to hold it in because I've refused to let them take my breath.
I liked the drum part they were doing on this song, and I was hoping it would develop into something, but the only development on the song was that the vocals stopped and the drums went to a more straightforward beat for the last
and the guitars
part.
And the bass finally started playing the same riff, the do 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 do. But I mean, when we can't figure out if this is just a kind of like a joke album, then honestly, like, that's never a good sign. When you can't tell, like, are they joking or like did they seriously want to write this and think this is awesome and couldn't wait to put it out? Like, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe a foul form, maybe the title track will change our minds.
Maybe it'll change this entire album. Let's see what happens.
I bet it's gonna be nothing but hip hop from here on out.
Yeah.
Lucas is getting upset.
Lucas is getting angry.
I mean, it's probably objectively the best song on the album so far.
Yeah, but that's not saying a lot.
It's not saying anything, Brett.
It's like, it's kind of, they just kind of took the rubric of an old 80s punk song, like a band you would just see at some shit venue.
Yeah.
And
that's that, for some reason some people will tell you they're brilliant. you know,
Yeah,
and you're
they're
just like, what am I not
local
getting
legends.
here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't get it. I liked they had 2 instances of this alien guitar part. The first time I liked it, the second time it pissed me off.
I fucking hated it. Those guitar parts always bug me. I just feel like it's very lazy. Like, this all just feels so... Like, the OCs have never been super intricate or, you know, ultra composed, so many things going on music. They're not epic or anything. Like, they're usually pretty stripped down and raw.
Yeah.
But this is just in its most basic form. Like, these dudes are fucking amoeba status.
Like, it seems like they wrote this album in a day.
Yeah.
They just got in the studio and like, all right, lay down a beat. I'll come up with something real quick.
And I guess that last song was just kind of like Dead Kennedys-esque. I don't know a lot of that era, man.
I mean, yeah, I really couldn't point to anyone just because I don't know. It just, to me, reminds me of some band you see at a local bar and you're like, oh, that's fun. And you like get in the pit or whatever.
Well, yeah. Let's just power through this, man. A Bird Ensnared, minute 21 seconds. How painful could it be?
All right. Well, that was nothing.
That was nothing. Moving on.
A Scum Show.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think by far the Nug.
By far the best.
By far, it sounded like a song.
Yes.
It sounded like there was a cool, weird, like 7/8 timing. There was a cool riff.
It was confusing me. Yeah.
A very punk like.
Like, I dug it. It was by far the best song on the record.
It had a couple parts.
It actually had moments. But yeah, man, like, it's still like, are you gonna go back and listen to that song like ever?
Yeah, that's the thing, is even if the album consisted of stuff like that, I still wouldn't really be interested in the album.
No.
But
fucking kill me, Brett.
You know what? Maybe I will. I think this band is trying to trick me into liking the bare minimum.
Right? Because, like, the first 5 songs were such horseshit that these last 2 are just like, okay, like, this is something, you know?
It's like, I'm like signing off on the songs that have like anything on them.
Any sort of merit to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, it's like you have to mention that, like, well, just because these are our choice nugs doesn't mean we like these songs. These are just the ones I hate the least, which that one of those So Fucking Kill Me is one of the songs I hate the least so far on this album.
Yeah, it had these weird noises that made it almost seemed like it was the menu music of like a kid's like Neopets game or something.
Yeah, or like the DVD menu of some. Yeah, the DVD menu for like Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe more like fucking Dude Ranch or whatever. Hey Dude, whatever they called it.
Dude Ranch.
Yeah, that's too. You're too young to know Dude Ranch, or I think it was Hey Dude, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're too young to know it. It doesn't seem like you know jack shit about it.
It was a Nickelodeon show, and they went, "Hey Dude," and that's how the song started. All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Perm Act is better.
This is breathtaking.
Yeah, right?
Could you imagine being that person? Like, what are you listening to? Are we listening to different albums?
It says, yeah, they said it was breathlessly brilliant. And then a highly combustible album that packs 10 songs into just 22 minutes. Does a great job of capturing that fiery intensity for a brief burst of chaos.
What?
It's a manic blast of pure energy with lots of smarts if you're looking for them.
Is this the first punk album you've heard?
Yeah, right? This is all music saying that there's lots of smarts if you're looking for them. They demonstrate that they're never short on daring ideas and the skills to make them work. And then like Kerrang was like, ultimately any record which ends with a cover of cult anarcho-surrealist Rudimentary Peni, which I've never heard of, can't fail to convince in its sincere respect for its predecessors and inspirations.
If I inspired this music, I'd be insulted.
like a manic force of fiery energy and everything, which like I guess that would be hard to dispute. Like, yeah, this album is super fiery and manic, but it's energetic. But I don't hear the smarts that all music is talking about. I'm not into this era of punk either, so maybe they're doing a lot of little tiny things. I'm just like, oh my god, like if only I knew, I mean, if only fucking Gorilla Biscuits were my favorite punk band, then like maybe I would appreciate this a lot more, but they're not.
And I don't know, as someone who was raised with more of those bands, I wouldn't even argue that this is manic or like, I don't know, like it's pretty tame, honestly.
Yeah, like, I think it's just loud and shitty sounding.
It's just kind of fuzzy and lo-fi, and the singer is being like a carnival barker from the 50s, which is cool. But like any kind of emotion or heart or work that went into this is lost on me. Completely lost on me.
Yeah, me too, man. We only have 2 songs left, and Social Butt is at least funny. So
Social Butt promises to be a pretty good song.
Yeah, I mean, from the name alone, I have high hopes.
It's one thing to make an album that's like paying tribute to your influences and stuff, and that's great for that audience, but the songs still have to be good.
You have to try and write a good song.
You still have to you have to try and make a good song.
Yeah.
That's like interesting or emotional or anything.
What a bummer.
I'm gonna have to go out and like wash this out by listening to their other records. I gotta listen to Mutilator again.
Dude, if you haven't heard Protean whatever, it's fucking great.
Freudian Slip?
Yeah.
I heard of that one.
I mean, like you said, there was probably the most going on of any song on that last track on Social Butt, so.
Yeah, it sounded like there was some room. Like there was a little bit of production that they did on that one to give it a little space or something.
Mm-hmm.
The vocals were kind of catchy. They did this consistent thing.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's go with Sacrifice. Is this the last song?
This is the last song.
All right, it's a minute long. Let's see if they can change our minds.
Let's do it.
Woo!
Woo!
Yo, what a fucking banger.
Dude,
what a closer.
Breathlessly brilliant.
I am at a loss for words.
It's just the artistry and genius just displayed throughout every song. It's just dripping with it. You could fucking wring it out like a mop.
You said this is their like 22nd album?
I think it's their 26th.
Damn. I mean, I guess they just wanted to fucking bust one out in a couple days.
Yeah. My favorite albums by them are like Smote Reverser and Protean Threat and Orc and Mutilator Defeated or something. I think Mutilator Defeated.
Mutilator Defeated at Last.
Defeated at Last. Man, those are like my favorite songs by them, or my favorite albums by them, and it's just, it's just a bummer to hear this. Like, I saw the album cover, I heard what it was supposed to be, we knew what we were getting into, and even then, I'm not even mad, Brett. I'm just disappointed.
I feel like, real quick, Sacrifice was fine.
Whatever.
The album as a whole, I think there were some moments and some ideas, some riffs that could be cool, some songs could be cool, but they had to stick to this shitty lo-fi recorded in the basement sound, which is fine, but it was to a point, the production is to a point where I think it like actually made the songs worse.
I agree. I mean, they recorded it in the singer's basement. You can tell it sounds like they recorded it in the basement. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, me and you both like really raw music. Like, it's not our complaint that this doesn't sound like, Human Clay by Creed. Like, I don't need that level of production.
I am a little disappointed it doesn't sound like that, but
I mean, if they did a cover of Higher or With Arms Wide Open, like, that honestly would have been my favorite songs on the record. The one thing I can say about A Foul Form is that it definitely sounds like they're having fun playing these songs. Like, it sounds like it kind of sounds like they let themselves do something shitty for once. That it was
that
like,
could be it. That
you know, they're just like, dude, who cares? Like, we're going for this, like, who gives a fuck punk attitude thing. Like, fuck it. Let's not write another riff for this song. Fuck it. It's a minute 20. That's long enough. You know, it's just like, and again, like, all those things, in practice are totally fine. And I'm totally happy with a minute 20-second song. But man, the way it was recorded, how shitty the songs were written, the lyrics are completely unintelligible the whole time, and you're not giving me anything to grab onto other than for like punk old heads. I don't know who the fuck's gonna like this record.
Yeah, and I don't even know if the old heads would like this record, because...
Well, clearly they do, because all the critics are fucking old heads, and all the critics are liking this album. This has an 81 Metacritic score right now. Universal acclaim, and me and you absolutely fucking hated it. So
it's a rough record. It sounds less than half baked. It sounds less than half produced.
Yeah.
There's nothing to grab onto half the time. Half the time the songs are just kind of one part that is nothing. I don't know. There's really not much to say about this album.
No. My favorite thing about the album is the artwork. I like the album cover.
I do like the artwork. Yeah, that's cool.
But let's get into our favorite songs, aka our choice nugs. Brett, what are your two favorite songs on this record?
My first one's gonna be Scum Show.
Yeah, that's
which I think is one of yours.
No, that's the only honorable mention for me.
Okay, I appreciated the weird. I appreciated like the odd signature.
Mm-hmm.
There was a cool riff that was very punk reminiscent. It actually made me reminisce for punk for the first time on the album.
Right.
And it sounded like a song, and it was cool. And they were like, "Scum Show," and I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was the first song that we both didn't absolutely hate as we were listening to the album, so that's why it's become an honorable mention for me. But my first choice nug would be "Fucking Kill Me," the song after that.
Fucking Kill Me.
That was the first song that I thought this would be sick to hear live. Like, I would actually want to hear this song live because I think I would get a lot more into it.
Yeah.
It's great. It had some good riffs. It was kind of pretty straightforward punk music, but it just had a lot of attitude and a lot of like angst to it, and I appreciated like how aggressive it was. I mean, you can say that about pretty much any song, but like at least this one had some form of melody, some form of riff, you know.
Yeah.
And then my second choice nug is Social Butt.
Social Butt is my second as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The vocals are catchy. It sounds like it has some space.
Yeah.
I can almost hear the guitar in this one, I think.
Almost. You could just pick up like a whisper, like a little like blown kiss of the bass.
Yeah.
In that song too. So, again, it's like to say that those are my choice nugs, really in this case it's saying those are the ones I hated the least. Because I'm not going to go back and listen to any of these songs, so...
man, you want to give it a little first glance rating, 0 to 10?
Let me just shit out a rating really quick. So, clearly I did not enjoy this record. I was pretty disappointed as an OC's fan, especially. I really like pretty much everything I've heard by them until now, and it's a bummer.
Like, they're capable of doing so much better than this.
They're capable of writing some of the catchiest garage rock music I've ever heard, and garage rock and punk are so like intertwined and hand in hand, like they're kissing cousins. So for a garage rock band to make a punk album, like, it could be really good. The OCs could have done such a good job on this album, and I think they took the low road and just said, fuck it, like, why try that hard? It's supposed to be punk. And as a fan of theirs and a fan of punk music and just a fan of music in general, I've found this album to be kind of insulting, in my opinion.
Like, I understand that there is an era of punk where it's like, fuck it, man. It's like,
I appreciate that.
Like, don't even try or anything like that. And it's like, I don't appreciate that, because, like, punk music that I like and that I write, I take
messages,
time with, and I work on it, and it's like,
it's true.
I don't just want all punk music and punk shit to be looked at like, oh yeah, it's just fucking punk. It's whatever, man. Just do whatever. If it sounds like shit, that's punk. It's like, no, man.
No.
Like, that's...
I like the punk ethos and the punk attitude of, like, fuck you and fuck this. Like, I like that part of it. And I can appreciate stripped down shit music, man. There's plenty of music similar to this that I actually enjoy. So that tells you how much I disliked this album, because there are other albums that sound very similar to this that I fucking love and will jam to any day. Like, think of, like, early King Gizzard stuff. Like, a lot of their shit sounds like this. And really fuzzy, really noisy, out of control music.
Yeah.
So with that all said, man, you know, this is gonna be such a low score, especially as a fan of the OCs. Maybe because I'm such a big fan of the OCs. I'm giving this a fucking, like, 1 out of 10.
Man, I'm glad you said that. I'm giving it a 1 as well. It's like, there's
such
nothing,
a bummer.
There's nothing to grasp onto. There wasn't a single moment that happened where I was like, ooh, that was cool.
Right.
There wasn't, like, the only redeeming thing is that it kind of, like, sounds punk, and it has, like, the punk vibe. I don't know, like, it's music, I guess.
It's got a lot of attitude.
I was almost thinking of giving this thing a 0, honestly.
Dude, I almost gave it, like, a 0.5 or something, because it's like, I just kind of sort of liked Fucking Kill Me, and I kind of sort of like Social Bud, you know? It's just like, whatever.
I think if this was one of our regular episodes, or if we had to listen to this 3 more times, it would probably become a 0.
Man, I'm surprised we didn't get nosebleeds listening to this.
All right, well, what did y'all think of the record?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not just the old heads. Maybe it's just us. Maybe we're missing something. Tell us what the fuck we could possibly be missing.
Please tell me what I'm missing.
Like, knows about.
Yeah, what are people getting that we're not about this record? Like, what are y'all's favorite songs on the record? What are your favorite OCs albums? Fucking, even, like, dude, fuck it. If you guys want to take the time out to do a tier list of their 26 records and fucking tell us what y'all's tier list is, like,
that might be a little bit much.
That, you know, if someone's dedicated enough to do it, I'm dedicated enough to read the comment, Brett. So, dude, give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can listen to us anywhere that there are podcasts. Watch us on YouTube if you're listening to this anywhere. You can see our dumb, big, ugly mugs. We're on Instagram at EBPcast. I'm at Jean-Luc Guitard. Brett's at Brett Hanrahan. Brett, what would you rate this episode, man?
I'm gonna rate this episode
out of 10,
but like minus like 10.
Ooh, so you're going negatives. You're going into the negatives.
I'm kind of going negatives.
Okay.
On this one.
Okay. Well,
it was a foul episode.
Yeah. I'm gonna rate this 0.
Fuck.
Yeah. You disappointed me, the OCs. I'm not gonna sleep well tonight.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all.
Fuck this album.
Fuck this album.
Fuck
Check
this
out
album.
Literally any other album they've made.
We have 100 episodes of albums that are all better than this one. Go listen to those episodes. Go watch those fucking videos.
Bye, Lucas.
Bye, Brett Jamin.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.